BackStageAxxess.com. We are here with Grammy Award-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Brad Whitford from Aerosmith. Brad, thanks a lot for talking to us, man. I appreciate it. We're here at the Experience Hendrix tour. Brad's a part of this, and he was more than gracious enough to talk to us for a couple minutes before they take the stage. This is your second time around doing this. You must really like this Experience Hendrix thing, huh?
It's actually my third time. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a chance to spend some time with people that otherwise you only run into occasionally, and we get to spend a good amount of time together, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just a lot of fun to play this music. There's just such an array of great songs
and great players. I mean, Robert Randolph, Johnny Lang, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, the list goes, Steve Vai, you know, Eric Johnson, Living Color, yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just all on the same stage. It's probably one of the, for the value, probably one of the best concerts out there, I think.
Do you have a say when this is put together? Do they say, Brad, we'd like you to do this, and you would say, no, I feel more comfortable doing this song? Do you have any say, or is it pretty much this is the way it is, and you know?
No, there's quite a bit of freedom here. If you know, you feel like there's something that you want to do, they're more than willing to work out just about anything. Yeah, so as long as it's Hendrix material. Yeah, it's a very nice atmosphere to work in.
Your kids, they played on the last run. Are they going to be playing on this run? His kids are amazing, actually, blues guitarists. They're a chip off the old block.
They may. They will be coming out and seeing some of the shows, and then I leave that option up to John McDermott because it's really his show, and if he wants to invite them up, which he has done in the past, it's great, you know. But you know, like I say, it's not my show, so I'm not going to go telling the guy that runs it what to do. So.
Derek St. Holmes, Whitford-St. Holmes project. That was a project that obviously you did way back when you originally left Aerosmith back in the early 80s. But that's going to be rekindled, possibly, correct?
Well, we have been talking about it. All the members are still actively playing music, and it just seems kind of silly not to revisit it, at least for a little bit, and just have some fun with it.
Is there a possibility of doing new material? Is it something just to get back together and do some shows? I mean, what's going to be the, you know, the overall result of that?
That is a good question. We haven't actually all sat down together and talked about that. Just really Derek and myself. We just a few months back we sat down and listened to the album together, and really enjoyed it, and thought, well, you know, maybe we should do this. Maybe it's time to at least do a few shows of the original material, and who knows what might come out of rehearsals for that.
Steven Tyler is doing American Idol. Of course, I think everybody on the planet knows that. What's the future hold for Aerosmith with him doing that?
Well, it's he does have a certain amount of free time while he does it. It takes a while, but they film. It's not something they tape and put in the can. They do it every week, and I think it takes about 4 months to complete, but it only requires a couple of days of filming each week, and so we hope to do some writing and recording around his TV schedule, and see if we can't put out some new music next year.
And that was my other question. New music. Is that something that's definitely scheduled in the process, or is it something that's just going to kicked around and kind of talked about is that definitely something that's definitely going to happen?
Well, we've already been in the process of doing it over the last 5 or 6 years, and every time we've been there, we've hit these major roadblocks that so we haven't seen the project all the way through. So maybe now that we have to be a little more disciplined about our time because of Steven's commitment to Idol. I think it might actually be a good thing that we might actually get some real work done. So.
With the new record, possibly, I don't know how it's taken shape, but is this going to be something that you want to do differently from, like, say, Nine Lives or Just Push Play, or is that nothing that you guys are just going to be doing something completely different?
I don't know. Usually kind of take a very organic approach to those things and start work um, and we just see what happens. And I think that's probably what we'll do this time. I think obviously some people will come in with ideas for songs and approaches to what we're going to be doing, but it's usually kind of an organic approach, and we just kind of see what happens.
So Brad has no idea how the next Aerosmith record is going to shape up. You're going to have to stay tuned to figure that out. You have played halftime at the Super Bowl. You've been on Saturday Night Live for Wayne's World. You've been part of a Simpsons episode, the Flaming Moe episode, in case anybody didn't know it. It's a classic episode. Out of all the things the band has done or you have done personally, what's the coolest thing that you can say, you know what, that is the one thing that stands out?
This particular tour has been a real standout for me because I've gotten to get to know some of my peers that probably otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to get to know as well and spend time with. And I have so much respect for all the guys on this tour, and just to pass this tour and the couple of tours before, just been able to meet some incredible people and share the stage with Eric Johnson, Steve Vai, and Joe Satriani, and just a whole host of Kenny Wayne, and just an incredible group of players, and I'm just kind of grateful to be a chance to be involved.
And kind of keeping with the Aerosmith theme, you guys just did a tour this past summer. Still, I think a lot of YouTube and a lot of focuses on, the relationship between Joe and Steven and everything that they do. They sneeze on each other, and it seems to be news. But, can you, tell the fans out there what's going on currently with the Aerosmith camp, if all is well?
Well, everybody's off in different directions at the moment. Steven's out doing auditions for American Idol, and I got a text from him the other day. He was in Nashville and seems to be having a good time, and I haven't really spoken to the other guys a whole lot, just a little bit on the phone, but that was like strictly business. So, but people are just kind of chilling out from the tour. And we're in the process of, thinking about how we're going to start this. We're really spread out now. Steven's going to be living in L.A. for quite a while, doing his TV shows. Some of us are in Boston, and some of us are. I live down south, and so. Right now, it's kind of a matter of logistics and what the time frame's going to look like, but everybody seems to be optimistic about getting some new music done, and I'm sure our fans would be very appreciative.
Going into my next question, with how the band sounds today, listening back to the live albums, say Live Bootleg in the late '70s, or I want to say Honkin' on Bobo because it's more of a blues album, but it's a live thing too. But how do you feel that the band has evolved? Musically, do you see you guys being so more of a tighter unit today than ever? And then obviously that's indicative of where you guys are in your musical careers.
Well, it's nice to be part of a band that when you spend so many years together, you develop a sort of unique style of playing. It's usually very tight. You kind of get to really know each other's styles and what each person is capable of. But it makes it a lot of fun to perform because the band plays so well together.
Basically, what I was trying to say, in case it was a long-winded question, do you feel that you're tighter now more than ever?
Almost definitely, yeah. I think 40 years of practice has finally paid off.
40 years. If you ain't tight, then I guess you ain't got it, right?
Right. Yeah.
What can the fans expect from Brad Whitford going into the rest of 2010, going into 2011?
Well, we're planning. Aerosmith's planning on going back on the road next year. That's the plan. Okay. That would be towards the end of next year. Kind of a worldwide tour, and hopefully we'll be Aerosmith will be putting some new music together, and I have a couple of side projects that will either come together or they won't. But otherwise, I'll be waiting for the phone to ring to see if somebody wants to, would like my services, which I'd be happy to oblige. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, anybody looking for a Grammy Award-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Brad might be available. But Brad Whitford on stage tonight with the Experience Hendrix tour. This is only like the sixth show, I think, of a 20-city run.
Yeah, it's about 20-something shows, yeah.
So definitely check them out, because if you can't get your Aerosmith fixed till next summer, you definitely want to check out Experience Hendrix now, because Brad's going to blow the doors off. Brad, thanks a lot for talking to us today. I appreciate it, man.